right. Hey, guess what? Good afternoon. Just a quick drive-by, so to speak, and we say drive-by in a good sense. Rickford Burke is with us. There is this protest this afternoon, another protest. Oh, yeah, another protest. There was one in Queens, New Jersey, seemed to have gone quiet, but the folks in attendance wasn't really that much. And then they had basically the elected officials are staying away from these functions. And this is what we're hoping for this one today. So share the link. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds before we bring Rickford Burke on. We noticed that he is in the studio already. Lemon has got him set up. In fact, Rickford Burke is not just in a studio, he's in a popular barbershop in Brooklyn. And it's a coincidence because I remember meeting that barber in Jamaica, the first time that he went out from the countryside to Kingston, Jamaica, for the first time. And the world is such a small place. All right, we'll be back with Rickford Burke in just about 30 seconds. But this is what this protest is all about.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Well, this is what happened. Last evening he was in New Jersey. He just got his US visa back, maybe because he travels now on a diplomatic passport. And that's the privilege these guys got now, right? Compliments of the taxpayers of Guyana. And he explained to some women yesterday that his sister died 12 years ago, and someone made some threatening remarks to his sister about some dildo. So I want to know, I asked the female who was there yesterday, and I asked, what's the relevance with his sister who died 12 years ago, and someone allegedly mentioned something to her about dildo? You know, I asked the question, what's the relevance with this?
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had the reason.
Let's get straight into because we are just going to spend a couple of minutes. Rickford Burke, good afternoon and welcome as usual. This is about
good afternoon, sir.
This protest that is out there. But before we get to the protest, you're in that popular barbershop.
Yeah, the barber come on. The barber said he remembers. He said somebody picked his pocket in Kingston, Mark.
No, and not me. Me not pickpocket. Me not a politician. Me not a private sector commission member.
Everybody, this is Odin from Director's Cut. Tell them where it is.
Talk about your barbershop quickly, man. Where are you located?
Yes, Director's Cut Barbershop in Bed-Stuy, 828 Marcy Avenue, right at the corner of Madison.
Yeah, 828 Marcy Avenue.
Marcy Avenue, at the corner of Madison.
Corner of Madison.
They've been cutting my hair for the last 15 years. Yes,
15 years. Yep. And so when I get down there, you know, you can do a little pandemic cut for me?
Yeah, definitely. We could arrange something. A pandemic
cut. Again, what's your address for people who are in the neighborhood and want to stop by and support your business?
828 Marcy Avenue.
828 Marcy Avenue.
Yes, at the corner of Marcy and Madison.
Let me ask you a question. And
yes,
I know Rickford is your client. How much you charge for a haircut? Does he pay to?
$50 every week you rob me. $50.
Thank you so much. So Rickford, and all the best to your barbershop guy.
Thank you.
Hope people who are in the neighborhood can go out and support that barbershop, support that barber, support those brothers in the
and we have the NYPD outside too.
Thank you so much for letting us know that the NYPD is outside. Well, yeah. So Rickford, what is happening? Let's first start off with this. The brazenness of these people. They're heading now at this church. Of course, the dildo guy, also known as Lildo, Dharamlal, is scheduled to be there, right? What's going on? Talk about this event. What is happening, Rickford?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Mark. Good afternoon, everybody. First, I look forward to seeing all of the Guyanese coming down to church Linden and Schenectady Avenue this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Linden and Schenectady Avenue, where we'll be protesting against the dildo guy. But Mark, you've just said he's also known as the little guy. Lildo?
Yeah.
Lildo. So we'll be protesting against Lildo, dildo. But on a serious note, the PPP is coming into the Black community when they are using Mark Phillips as a house slave to project to the world that they're not racist. And of course, Mark Phillips doesn't have the cultural awareness to understand that they have been marginalizing his people, victimizing his people, enslaving his people, colonizing his people, so as to promote ethnic supremacy. Right now, what is happening in Guyana, only East Indian supporters of the PPP are getting contracts. Only East Indians are benefiting from the oil and gas resources of the country. Only PPP East Indians are getting COVID relief and billions in flood relief, while Afro-Guyanese and East Indians who don't support the PPP and Amerindians are suffering. They're being driven into poverty by this racist government. So we want to send a message today that we're not buying into this nonsense where you're going to use house slaves to come to sell us the Brooklyn Bridge, when in fact you're a racist government subjugating the rights of Black people, stifling and shutting us out from the economic development of the country and from the oil and gas resources. We will protest against you. We will expose you to the world, and we will let all of the New York become aware that Guyana has a racist government that is just as racist as the KKK, that they're attempting to colonize Black people in Guyana, that they're subjugating Black people, that they want to shut us out from the economic benefits of the country, and they want to make us second-class citizens in our homeland. And we in the diaspora will not tolerate it. It's either we have a one Guyana or no Guyana. That's our position.
Well, you know, Rickford, this has been over a year now. We've been at this with this message. Do you think folks over here are getting it, elected officials? I get the strong feeling that they are. But what's your take, sir?
Of course, they are. And I noticed that some elected officials here are rubbing shoulders with these racists, rubbing shoulders with people who are telling females in parliament to go get the dildo. And I'm wondering where are their values? And this is America, and, you know, we will hold them accountable.
You know, holding them accountable indeed. Because one of the things that's actually not surprising is that that event in Queens on the 22nd of this month, in Queens there, a couple of days ago, hardly any elected officials over here attended that event, even though so many of them were invited. You're not surprised?
Well, elected officials over here have values. I understand one elected official was there and presented the Prime Minister with a proclamation. Everybody makes their own choices, Mark, but over here we hold our elected officials accountable. Now, I could understand if somebody wants to give a Prime Minister a proclamation, but under the circumstances where you have a government acting like the government of South Africa in the 70s and the 80s, running an apartheid regime where you have Bar Jagdeo allegedly collecting bribes from international organizations, everybody who has to invest in it, wants to invest in the country or have a government contract allegedly based on one of his own very close friends, sue, have to pay 20% or something like that bribe to the vice president. There should be an investigation. Why are elected officials from this country associating with a racist regime that is subjugating the rights of their own people, that is shutting Black people out from the economic development of the country, that is shutting Black people out from benefiting from oil and gas, that's taking away houses. Right now, we have the Attorney General in court fighting to take away houses from Black migrants. You have the Attorney General in court fighting to take away property from Black owners. And then you have Irfan Ali, on the other hand, talking about one Guyana when we had the 52nd anniversary of the Republic, and they made it into PPP's 10-year celebration. So what they want to do is wipe out the contribution of Black people to the country. And they want to shut us out, make us second-class citizens. And if the people in Guyana are quiet, we in the diaspora will raise hell.
You know
And
what,
that's why
Rickford,
we are inviting everybody to come out today on Church and Schenectady Avenue to protest this racist prime minister and this racist minister, sexist minister, misogynist minister who stood up in parliament and told a female member, an opposition female member of parliament, to go get a dildo. And the government has not repudiated. The speaker has not repudiated. So it seems as though the PPP and the speaker have embraced this vulgar, lewd lawlessness by this dildo minister.
Is it Church Avenue? Is it because you mentioned Church Avenue, 661
Sorry,
Linden Boulevard?
It's Linden Avenue, sorry, Linden and Schenectady. I'm so accustomed to Church.
Linden Boulevard.
Linden Boulevard and Church, Linden Boulevard and Schenectady Avenue.
Yeah, Rickford, you've been in Brooklyn too long to be making them sort of mistakes. But, you know, it's funny how these elected officials over here do not do their research and to see that these folks are oppressing. They're oppressing political opponents, mainly persons of African descent. But it doesn't mean that our Indo brothers and sisters who disagree with them are not being oppressed. A lot of our Indian brothers and sisters are being oppressed. But are these officials doing their research before they type out proclamations and sign proclamations? Is it a fashion now that these elected officials just show up and hand out proclamations like that?
Mark, I think they requested. I think the PPP government is looking for legitimacy, and they find it by getting these accolades. And so they request these things, and elected officials are not doing enough research. But these elected officials are from our community. Some of them are from Queens, that's fine. But some of them are from our community here in Brooklyn. And I will repudiate anybody who gives a proclamation to a prime minister who's part of a government that is oppressing Black people. And East Indians and Americans who don't support them.
That I'm aware of, 2 officials attended the function on the 22nd in Queens at Jamaica Arts Center, Performing Arts Center. One is Raj Kumar and the other one is State Senator Roxanne Prasad. Who was the one that gave Mark Phillips a proclamation?
I saw somewhere in the press that Senator Prasad gave a proclamation. Look, listen, Senator Prasad is her own independent person. She can make her own decisions, but I don't think it's wise for a Black elected official in the United States of America to reward and give these kinds of accolades to a racist government. Just imagine a senator from New York giving the apartheid government of South Africa a proclamation. It is a fact that the PPP government is subjugating the rights of Black people. It is a fact that the PPP government is using the Guyana police force to go after only Black people. They have gone after Black people from GCOM, Black officials, Black members of parliament, Black business owners, Black former CEOs, Black leaders of the opposition, Black leaders of non-governmental organizations like myself. Even though I'm living in the United States, they're coming after me. They're issuing a wanted bulletin for me. They're probing, pushing their supporters to call for my death. So, and you have Senator Prasad. I mean, Senator Prasad, my friend. I have all, you know, I wish her all the best. You know, I respect her very much, but I think it's a mistake for her to be doing these things without holding the government accountable. Now, you imagine a government that is putting out a wanted bulletin for a member of her community here in New York, because I have been speaking out, because I've been talking to members of Congress, because I've been talking to the US government about the racism of the PPP government. They have decided to put out a wanted bulletin for me. And she is awarding them by giving them a proclamation. I think that's a mistake, Mark. And of course, I'll see Senator Prasad sometime and I'll discuss it with her. Maybe she doesn't have all the information, but I don't think our leaders should be rewarding racists and house slaves who are propping up a racist regime, who are attacking people's freedom of speech, who are attacking people's constitutional rights under the United States Constitution. And they have the gall to come into our community and talk about one Guyana, when they have divided Guyana into two. One Guyana for the PPP and their supporters, another Guyana for Black people, Amerindians and East Indians who don't support the PPP.
All right, just to a quick note that I spoke with Senator Prasad last evening, and she did indicate that as an elected official, she feels obligated to represent members of her constituency. And if there is a function that is being held to commemorate something about her country of birth, that she feels that she is obligated to be there. And that basically no one can dictate where she goes from where she doesn't go. And that individuals have been calling her and threatening her that they are not going to be voting for her. I just thought that I make that clear, that I did speak with the senator.
Well, Mark, I don't think anybody should threaten the senator. The senator has a right to make her own decisions, just like any one of us. Like I said, I have an enormous amount of respect for Senator Prasad. She's indeed a leader in our community. She's contributed a lot to the Caribbean American community in New York. She serves us. She provides outstanding service. And I don't want to criticize her. All I want to say is that she should be fair. I think that if she's going to give proclamations to the government, she should also speak out about the atrocities that the PPP government has committed against Black people. She must speak out about the death squad killings. She must speak out about the racism. She must speak out about the fact that even members of Congress are saying that Guyanese are not benefiting equitably from the resources of the country. Congressman Hank Johnson from Georgia has said that. Congresswoman Yvette Clark, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, Congressman Albino Cerise from New Jersey have said that. President Biden said that in his message, that we must reinforce democracy and ensure that the people of the country benefit, all of the people benefit from the resources of the country. That is not happening in Guyana. When they are giving out billions of dollars in flood relief to their supporters who weren't even flooded out, who were not even agricultural farmers, just for political payback. And they're passing Black families and they're not giving contracts. Up to 2 days ago, a contractor from the west coast of Demerara called me on Facebook, and he was telling me that he has all his equipment to rehabilitate and build roads, but he's not getting contract. Another contractor from Georgetown told me the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Housing, all of the ministries are putting out tenders, and they're giving the tenders to the gentleman who used to be the representative on the Ethnic Relations Commission, his security firm. Over $500 million in contracts are being given to only East Indian supporters of the PPP. It's our country. We own the country, just like them. We're entitled to the benefits of the country, just like PPP supporters.
And a lot of Black contractors are being shoved to the curb, so to speak. But let's remind the listeners that this protest today, folks are going to start being there from around 5 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock, maybe earlier. Take your placards, go out there, stand up. The address is right there, 661 Linden Boulevard. It's right at the corner of Schenectady. You can't miss it. Come on, guys, go out there. You know, just head out there, stay outside, and protest. Do your thing. And let these people know that enough is enough. And now let me say, getting back to Congress, State Senator Roxanne Prasad. I've known her over the years, a really nice person, a professional. But if I had to whisper to her that certain events that maybe she's her independent person, that sometimes it doesn't look good when elected officials embrace oppressors, people who are doing a bunch of nonsense in Guyana, then masquerading around as though it's a one Guyana they're talking about, when in fact the evidence is just way too much. But I still have respect for State Senator Roxanne Prasad. I will continue to support her. She did say, though, that that she inquired whether the dildo guy, the guy who made the dildo comment, was there or not. And she was pleased. She was glad that he wasn't in attendance.
Mark, that's not enough. I want to call on Senator Prasad. I can send her the video and she should condemn it. She should come. Could you imagine a male New York senator standing on the Senate floor and telling Senator Prasad to go get a dildo? He would have had to resign. He would have to resign. But the PP government has no standards. Bart Jagdeh was just accused of taking bribes to the tune of billions of dollars. And there's no investigation. No investigation. An REO shot a young lady in Region 9. He's not, facing any severe consequences. Once the PP is in power, their people are in power to do anything. They use their influence in the Guyana police force. They put their own people there, house slaves, and the police force does nothing. Look what they're doing to James Bond. In the meantime, Sleeping and all these other Indian business owners, their businesses are open, but they want to run James Bond's business into the ground because he's a black man. They don't believe black people must have businesses. They want to shut down car care. They want to shut down Vons. They want to take away the lands of the people in Region 5, where the Attorney General told his Indian supporters, go and take over the land of black people. Break down the fence and take it over. They took away people's land and spanned it down.
Whilst I agree with you 100%, well, car care guys and Vons, they struck a deal and they've gone quiet now. But they're doing a lot of things to hurt black businesses. That is so true. But let us not forget that they also burned down the business of the Aziz, somewhere there in Bad Settlement, or Bushlat, or somewhere on the west coast.
Oh, exactly. The butcher shop of the Aziz family, yes, in Region 5. So they're persecuting East Indians that don't support them as well.
Yeah, indeed. And so you are correct, though, that politicians over here need to do their research before they hand out proclamations to individuals. But I still hold Miss Roxanne Prasad in high regards, because you're talking about the dildo guy, and when you compare him to that guy who occupied the White House not so long ago, he was atrocious, man. But yet a lot of the politicians.
But Mark, one of the other things I would like to see Senator Prasad doing is coming to events that the opposition has as well. I've never seen her at the event that the coalition supporters up here have, but she goes to these events where racist oppressors who are enemies of mankind and black people, she attends those events. I like to see her being a little more balanced and attend some of the opposition events as well.
All right, fair enough. Roxanne Prasad, Senator, State Senator, if you're watching, it's a fair thing. And it's unfair for elected officials.
And I'm pretty sure she and I will talk about this.
To just attend these functions. Well, I'd like to say hi to her mom. She says her mom watches the show all the time. Good evening to the senators.
Yeah, her mom watches Facebook. Hi, Mom.
Let's get back to this here, Mr. Burke. This here. Call the people, talk to the people directly, and let them come out.
Well, I want to encourage everybody. Now, we all are from Guyana. If you look at the Israelis and the Jamaicans and the Grenadians, they all stand together and they fight for their homeland, because the homeland and the diaspora are inseparable. We all part of the Guyanese nation. When the people of Guyana hurt, we in the diaspora hurt. So we should stand up. One of the reasons why the PPP is running over black people in Guyana is because they feel that our leaders are weak. They feel that they can do these things because they're not going to be met with protests and pushback. In the diaspora, the Guyana police force can't come and shoot us. The NYPD can't come and shoot us. We have rights. We have constitutional rights. We have equal rights as the people who are putting on that event today. So we must come out today at the corner of Linden Boulevard and Schenectady Avenue and send a strong message to the PP government that we in the diaspora will not tolerate their racism. This is modern racism. This is modern apartheid. Modern apartheid. We have a racist East Indian-led government. And like I always say, they're perfectly loyal, patriotic, honorable East Indians that don't support the racism and the criminality of the PPP. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about people from the racist cult, hatred, people who see black people as less human beings. And they only understand that they're black when they come out here. And the white people treat them like dogs, like they get treated in Washington and Queens. We're talking about those people.
All right, indeed.
Guyana belongs to all of us, and we have to stand up and fight for our rights. And to the people of Guyana, you will only get respect from people like Jagdale and Orphanali when you stand up for your rights. So don't even bother with whether or not your leaders in Parliament or Congress Place or in the AFC are standing up for you. Stand up for yourself. It's your constitutional right. They can't lock up the whole country.
Let me ask you this, Rickford, that they got officials of the opposition who are embracing these individuals publicly. Yeah, who are embracing these people publicly. In one side of their mouth, they're actually saying that these folks are their ministers and all these different things. What do you, and these are people who are not invited to functions and so forth, are legitimizing members of the installed regime. What is your take on that sort of hypocrisy?
Well, I wouldn't want to determine anybody's personal politics, Mark. I know what my politics would be. My politics is I'm not going to associate with you if you're oppressing me.
1 second. We are determining the personal politics of Senator Roxanne Prasad. We are just saying that it was wrong for Senator Prasad to attend these events. Wouldn't it be the same yardstick we measure those politicians back home, those members of parliament who are embracing members of this installed regime?
Well, I'm using the same yardstick, and Prasad an independent person. She can do what she wants. All we are asking is she must be balanced and fair. Coming back to Guyana, I think that those politicians will have to make their own decisions, but they represent constituents. And if their constituents are being oppressed, they must speak out and represent. Mark, there's nothing wrong with civility. Whenever Bar Jagdale was in town and if I run into each other, we exchange pleasantries. He would talk to me. Of course, I would challenge him on some of the things he's said before, whatever it is, and we'll have a discussion. But he's always showed me respect when he sees me. And there's nothing wrong with civility. But one of the things that I would want to see as well, the PPP has divided Guyana. I don't think the opposition members of parliament, I'm straying away from the topic here, but I don't think opposition members of parliament, Mark, should sit down and complain that the PPP is taking up all the national celebrations and making them ethnic and making them divisive. The country is divided. The PPP has divided the country. So let us have two independent celebrations. Let us have two republic celebrations. The opposition should have their own thing and let the PPP have their own thing. Let me run the country so. And eventually, we're going to have a failed state. And like I said, there must be one Guyana or no Guyana. If black people, and let me say it very loud, if black people can't benefit from the oil and gas in Guyana, nobody must benefit. Let the country become a failed state. Because right now, the PPP is transferring these guys in the barbershop are laughing, transferring the wealth of, and it's a serious issue, they're transferring the wealth of Guyana to the East Indian population that supports them. Hello.
Yeah, you know, the saying should be that they're being allowed to do that. And instead of
allowing them to do it.
A failed state is that the opposition should get its act together in order to prepare for elections and get these vagabonds out of office to prevent Guyana from becoming a failed state as it was for the 23 years that they were in office, right? And that can only be done with all hands on deck. All hands
on deck. And we need a unified opposition, and we need an opposition leader now. I don't see any reason why when one of the members of parliament should not be elected as an opposition leader. And Mark, again, I want to call for the parliament to immediately elect an opposition leader. There could be an interim opposition leader. How can you have a country without an opposition leader? It is absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. The country should have an opposition leader. The Constitution requires the president to consult with the opposition leader on certain issues. To me, there's no opposition leader. The PPP can take advantage of that, even though I think the courts might stop them. But we need an opposition leader.
Even when, no, they're not going to be so foolish. They're a bunch of foolish people. But the Constitution states specifically that they must consult with the leader of the opposition.
They must.
Absent that there's no leader of the opposition right now.
There could be no
something that is ridiculous. They'll still have to wait until the end of March, right? Which again, I say is ridiculous. But let's get back to this protest action here. And we want folks to head out there this afternoon. It starts at 5:30. Come on, guys, go out there. It's not far.
Rain, sun, snow, or shine. Sorry, rain, snow, sun, or shine, or well, we out there at from 5 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Linden and Schenectady. And I want to encourage all of we have some other young men here who are not from Guyana. We want to encourage everybody. The black people of the Caribbean region must stand with the black people in Guyana. Just like the black people in New York, they stand with the black people all around the United States where we are abused by police and racists around the United States. We all must stand together. The entire Caribbean must stand with the oppressed black people of Guyana.
You know, Rickford, civility in politics.
There's somebody here from Suriname. The one of them, he's not in the Caribbean, but if he could stand with black people. The Caribbean and South America.
Where is that person? Where is that person?
Mr. Suriname, come. He wants to see you.
Peace and blessings. How you feeling?
Bukak Mateo.
Alasari boom. Bench.
Oh, check.
Yes,
yeah. Nikiri.
Yeah. You put me on the spot, man. You guys, I gotta,
Are you vaccinated?
No, I'm not vaccinated.
You can go back.
All right, see you guys later. Yo, stop talking to the opposition.
Let's speak Dutch. Come on. Yeah, let me speak some Dutch. Now, you are correct. Civility is okay in politics or in anything. But if I run into these oppressors, I wouldn't want to photograph with them.
Hold on. Jamaican, you're making too much noise. Go ahead.
Right? I wouldn't want to photograph with them. They're oppressing people in that country. They're marginalizing people. They're persecuting people. And now is not the time to skin on civility and shake hands with them, right? Until they get their act together, then we can sit and talk for the betterment of all the people in that country. That's the sort of civility I believe in. But today, you guys got to drown them out.
But,
go ahead.
But Mark, the ideal objective is one united Guyana. The PPP has divided the country. They have made politics in Guyana so odious. They've made it personal. They're going after black people, black politicians. And so they have created an environment where people don't want their representative to interact with PPP members because they see them as enemies. But ideally, we should be one. We are one. We should be working towards one united country. The PPP has destroyed that, so I could understand your sentiment.
Yep, the PPP has destroyed a lot of things. The people in Region 10, in Linden, and all over, they're suffering. The people in Berbice, if you go to Blackbush Polder, even Port Morant, there's strong support base. People are punishing throughout that country. Let your guys in the barbershop, let them take a look, and you can translate this here for them. Let them see and hear what is happening.
He's calling you.
Pressure boss pipe. Pressure boss pipe, boy. Umaninza, Guyana de underwater. Oh, on the wrong. Sorry. Umaninza, Guyana de under pressure. Walk. Bangamere is $400 pong. Trout $400 pong. Oh, you go buy that sell back by. I just come and tell a boy, be some buy me little fish and mix with me little crab and sell. Thing that just raise, thing just double, the price just double. Oh, partner. What you could do now? You don't squeeze out the juice for the Guyanese people.
Everything just gone haywire. It's just gone, completely gone. And all Guyanese are punishing under the installed PPP regime. And I say install PPP regime, and I'll tell you this, Rickford, it hurts my feelings, right? And when I see opposition members of parliament hugging and kissing and legitimizing these people, addressing them as our attorney general and all these different things, far worse than what Roxanne Prasad, the senator, did, and give him proclamation and so forth. There's a time, Ecclesiastes 3, you go to church every Saturday. It talks about there's a time and there's a season for everything on the face of this earth. Everything.
Preach it, Pastor Gretschkow.
Shake hands with these people. Now is not to hug them. Now is not time to recognize them as our attorney general or our prime minister or our this. Now is not the time for that, because they don't see us. Those who support maybe some other political party other than these rebels in office, they don't have any respect for us. They try to use us for publicity stunt, photo ops, and all these things. Let's go back to this event here, man. That is why scores of people should turn out here this afternoon. Burke?
Yes, and again, I want to encourage everybody in New York City, all the Guyanese, all the Caribbean Americans, come out to Linden Boulevard and Schenectady Avenue this afternoon in front of God's Battalion Church. We are protesting against the installed PPP regime, racism, their subjugation of Black people, oppression of Black people in Guyana. My friend from Jamaica, I always say this, I have a friend who's a cabinet member in Jamaica, and that person always tells me, if they try that in Jamaica, the whole country mash up. Right over there? Yes, sir. The whole another Jamaican, they can't try that in Jamaica.
Let's hear from O'Day. Let's hear from the
O'Day, Mark Collins.
Let's hear from our Jamaican.
Mr. Mark.
So what go on? So if all them things are here happening in Guyana, if quarter of them things supposed to happen in Jamaica, what would I do?
Well, first place, some things goes without saying. It can't happen. It can't happen.
Well, it can't happen.
Well, people have to die. So
No,
that's why it is carved into stone. It's not gonna happen.
It just not happen. All right.
It just not happen.
Big up.
Maybe we need some Jamaicans in Guyana.
We need some Suriname to come over.
It's politics, you know, and people have to stand up for their rights. Look at what they're doing with this coat of arms. They're saying one Guyana now. They have no regards. They're not talking about one people, one nation, one destiny. Suddenly, Air Finale jumped out of whatever cot that he's been sleeping in.
Oh, then,
Yes, sir.
you know, they will take what you just said and say Jamaicans are promoting violence against East Indians. Even Black Lives Matter people are attacking. So,
Rephrase that.
Yeah, that's O'Day is talking from a political standpoint. We know what happens in Jamaica, and Jamaicans, like other parts of the Caribbean, they don't sit down and take crap. It seems as though Guyanese only sit down and take crap upon crap upon crap every single time. And if you tell our Jamaican counterpart or the young man from Suriname, maybe Paramaribo or Nikiri, wherever he's from, you tell them these things, you say, what is it that Guyanese are doing to stand up for their rights?
but what's your message to the Black people in Guyana as a Jamaican?
Well,
Let me see your face. Yeah.
just to add to what you said, I think they need to come out. Just like in Jamaica, similar things like this, everybody comes out. It's not if I but the child, the old lady, the sick. Because
Even the sick come out.
the sick comes out. You have to get the point across. Okay? If it happens once, it will happen twice. You try to end it from the first time.
And that's in Jamaican. If it happened in Jamaica, everybody come out, from the baby, child, grandmother, the sick, the crippled, everybody come out.
Yep.
Guyanese need to do the same thing.
They all come out. O'Day, let me ask you this.
O'Day,
Because in
exactly.
Jamaica, right? O'Day is the star for today. O'Day is the star
But
for
they was
today.
talking to somebody at the door.
Okay. You should tell him lock the door, tell him forget about making money today. He's
Yes,
become,
the barbershop is full. It's like parliament here.
he has become a politician, which is good.
Everybody's coming down now to get O'Day and give them a hair. A
But
director's cut.
let us get back. It's now
It's getting real noisy in here, Mark, so you might have to cut.
let us wrap up as we talk about
Sure.
this protest today. Again, urging folks to head down there, 661 Linden Boulevard. It's right at the corner of Schenectady Avenue.
And Linden Boulevard. Come out, support the protest. Stand up for the rights of Black people. Stand up for the rights of Black people. And some East Indians who don't support the PPP. And some Amerindians who don't support the PPP.
Yeah, we want them to stand up and ensure that they hold and embrace the Guyanese who are being marginalized, who are being persecuted, some Guyanese who are being slaughtered by members of the PPP regime, that's SWAT team and all these different things, and to embrace the struggle in Guyana, because all Guyanese are feeling it. We also know that there's a deliberate attempt to target persons of African descent, business people, and all of these things, and even by extension, Guyanese who
projected on the big screen here.
Who do not support them, right? All Guyanese who do not support them are being marginalized. Yes, we know the bulk of those Guyanese are persons of African descent. It must stop. That is why, folks, we're urging you to go out today in your numbers. Just close your eyes and imagine this is an Admiral Bailey show or a Gully Bop or a Beanie Man, or just imagine.
Or Christopher Martin or Alkaline or Dexter Dubs. They want to go out. So let us come out to support our people.
Well, I don't know those guys. I know Super Cat,
Mark,
Admiral Bailey, the old school. Yeah, I'm an old school kind of guy. The younger guys, I don't know what they sing, but I'm an old school guy. Admiral Bailey, Dominique, and those guys. Papa San, you know what I mean? So come on, guys, head out there today. Head out this afternoon, 5 o'clock. From 5 o'clock, be out there. The dildo guy is going to be there. Take a look at him. He is going to be there.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
All right, here you go.
Mark,
Sorry about that. Yes,
with you.
Yep. Thank you, Emma.
I want to remind everybody to come out again, 5 p.m. today, at the corner of Linden Boulevard and Schenectady Avenue in front of God's Battalion Church. We're going to stage a protest against PPP racism and their attempt to transfer all the wealth of Guyana to the East Indian supporters of the PPP only.
And guys who just hop into the country who are not paying their fair share of taxes and who don't look like Guyanese. I'm looking at some of the comments. One person, Ann John, is saying, Mark, I disagree with you. They're most Guyanese not feeling nothing back home. Look at their actions, parties in big crowds. Ann John, when I looked at that big
Ann John
crowd,
is my sister. Big up Ann John.
Yeah. When we look at that crowd, gosh, sporting up, dancing up. I don't know. Look on the screen. There's a Natesh Rambrick is saying hello to us.
Hey, Satish.
Yes. Hey, Satish. Let's give a shout out back to Satish. A quick shout out back to Natesh or whatever Tish. Yeah, that's our way of saying the same thing that you said. Yeah, but again, guys, come on. All of you guys head out there this afternoon. It's just not so long from now. Head out there with your placards. Make a bunch of noise. Don't let the pastor come out and try to pray and all these sort of things for you guys, right? Mr. Burke, don't let them pray.
We don't mind prayers either, but the prayer and protest. Protest.
Not today. Y'all pray amongst yourselves. Because when the pastor pray, because sometimes the prayer just do something and shake you up. Remember how you reached in the church the last time his prayers, bro?
I'm a praying person too. No.
You know, it's
Okay, Marcus, let's deal with you.
the same prayer drag you in, but not this time. But look, Mr. Burke, Rickford, let us go. Let us get the people out there this afternoon.
I'll see you guys at 5 o'clock. We'll go live.
Thank you.
Good day to everybody in
All the best.
Guyana. Call up all your relatives and friends. Tell them come out to the protest, Linden Boulevard and Schenectady Avenue.
Yeah, all the best. Thanks to your barbers. And
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah. All right. So Rickford Burke and others will be heading down to that place tonight. Oh, yeah. This afternoon, 5:30. Ensure that you go out there and do what is necessary. Drown them out. All right. I'll see you guys this evening. I will see you guys this evening. I have a former former producer for Vice News is going to be on. Also a former reporter. He's also a former reporter for the New York Times. So see you guys this evening, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Guyana time. All right. You guys see, I have to head back to work, right? You want to say hi? Are you going to protest? You going with Daddy in protest? All right. Okay, so we've got to go. I got to head back to work, you see. Daddy's daycare. All the best, guys. God bless you. Head out there and protest today.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Thank you.